Nice to have you today. And before we begin our session of question and answer, could you please tell us a little bit about you and your background and how you arrived at NSHM?
Sure. So NSHM happened almost, after more than 2 decades of my
Okay.
career. So I have been a journalist rising to the level of a chief editor with publications like New York Times and the Economic Times, CNBC TV 18. And the latter decade, the next decade was spent in the corporate as head of corporate communications, branding, CSR, publications with the Tata Group company. My academic stint started like 4 years back with as the dean of another private university, and I joined NSHM as the dean almost a year back now. Uh, so uh, it's been a wonderful transition from corporate to academics, and NSHM has been extremely well equipped in terms of its exposure, its acceptance of industry. So, which I'll little later we'll talk about it. So that has been my journey of more than 2 decades of experience. Um, I am an author. I've written many books, 10 books actually to be precise, and I write on luxury brands. Uh, I have also acted in films. My short film was selected and screened at the Cannes Film Festival,
Wonderful.
the 69th version of it in 2016. So it's exciting, and let's see what lies ahead.
I'm sure. So, to come to the first question that I have for you, when we talk about career opportunities, so what career opportunities do you think the media studies students have today in this world that
Right. So here I would like to elaborate a little bit, because this is a very pertinent question that most of the parents and the students who come to me ask. See, media has evolved. It's a very evolving field. Media has evolved and is still evolving. So therefore, it is actually multiplying the opportunities that was that it lends itself. Things which were
absolutely.
not there, even 10-15 years back, those opportunities are here today. So when I started off in journalism, it was primarily print. Later, the electronics dominated, but now it's the day and age of digital. So in journalism, so if I look at the various streams in which the opportunities are there after you study media, so one is journalism. Now in journalism, you have your print, where you start off as a copy editor or reporter as a trainee. Second is in television, in a very similar profile as a trainee, you can start off. But one thing about television that I would like to clarify to all the parents and the students who are listening to this is that the only job in the television is not the anchor. So that is a very, very
Absolutely.
common question that I get, that I want to become an anchor, so I want to study media. So it's not necessarily that you have to study media to become an anchor. An anchor is just one part of the entire story. There are editors, there are input editors, output editors. There are people who gather news, there are people who edit news, there are people, there are so many opportunities in the electronic media, television media space, that anchor is just one of them. So don't think that you
Absolutely.
want to, you have to
That's the
study media for being an anchor. You have to understand the medium and understand the huge amount of opportunity that it lends itself. And anchor is just one of them. So please, anchor is not the only place, not the only position for electronic media. So second bit is the new opportunity that I had said that it was not that dominant even 10-15 years back, which is the digital. So you have today the digital media becoming an integral part of the story in telling the news. And it has become the most powerful medium, given the fact that it has uh, made convergence in news possible. So today, if you see, A journalist in a setup earlier was either a print journalist or a television journalist. you know Now it has become a convergent media. So what has happened is, today the same journalist who's broken a story perhaps on Twitter, in the morning, that person sits in front of the camera and narrates the story to, for a show, and then the person writes a brief for the online space of that same news medium, and then the person files the longer version of the story for the print. And so today journalists have to multitask across
Absolutely,
medium,
yes.
and that is the beauty of it. That is the beauty of convergence of media. And digital has become a very, very powerful space. So students also ask that, so if I want to become a journalist, should I be in print or should I be in television? But digital is the most growing and the most powerful till date, as a form of news, disseminating news, and as a medium of news. So this is one aspect of journalism. Next, I would like to talk about another aspect, which is your public relations. So PR and communications, like corporate communications in companies, public relations in companies, so, and as well as marketing. So communications business, in terms of handling media, in terms of handling journalists, in terms of the PR agencies that are offering, ad agencies that are offering, corporates that are offering corporate communication roles as a, as a trainee or an executive when they induct you in their marketing department or ad sales department, whatever. So this is a fantastic area where you get to rise to the level of a chief communications officer, which I was in my previous corporate experience. And there have been cases where they have even got board seats. So it has an immense potential, and if you're of a media background, it has an immense potential to take you to that level. So even in corporate, even in PR agencies or ad agencies, you can rise to a level that, only you can decide for yourself. The third aspect is in the area of photography,
Okay.
so which is a very, very powerful area today, and the need of photography, video editing is immense across all sectors, because all the agencies, even corporates, they need professional video editors and photographers. So these two areas, not only photography but also video editing, so these two areas are the most sought after people, and our students in the final year, they do so much of freelancing in these
Yeah.
two areas, especially photography and video editing, that in many cases they don't take up a permanent job. They refuse placement because the kind of exposure they get, the kind of money they earn, that is a fantastic story. So video editing and photography is another area where media students can go for.
Wonderful. Thank you for your very elaborate answers, because students today need to understand what is it that they are studying, and I think there are a lot of unknown facts about
Absolutely.
media studies that can be busted for them when they come to study in NSHM. So the second question for you is again related to what you just spoke about, but in this case, what are the career opportunities for film and
Right.
television students?
Right.
Because again, there are a few myths that they
Yes.
have
Yes.
related to
Yes.
these two
I'll tell you
subjects.
the myths. The myths are very interesting. There are students and parents who come and say that, my son wants to become an actor and a model, and therefore should I put him in film studies? So film studies is basically, and please let me clear the myth for everybody, that you have to study. You have to attend classes. 70% is theory, 30% is practical. So you have to submit your assignments, appear for examination. It is as serious a subject as any other subject. So it is not that the entire day you will be shooting or watching movies. It's not like that. Even if you watch movie, you have to do it very critically to understand frame, to understand the various aspects of it. So film studies is important, and the career opportunity that it lends itself is not an actor, first of all. So we don't teach acting. So I just want to put that disclaimer out. Acting is very important, but we don't teach acting. So, however, what we teach and the career opportunities pertaining to that is, we teach editing, we teach script writing. So as editors, and please understand, in a movie, again, the actor, actress, director are not the only three players. Okay, there are so many areas where
Absolutely.
you need to be an expertise on, and we are very we are very lucky that we have a professor of practice, Mr. Raviranjan Moitro,
Yes.
and he is a very famous editor in the industry, still the best that we can have, and he himself teaches, so you can understand as an editor the extent to which you can go. So you can do editing, you can become a cinematographer, and in today's day and age, students have known the beauty of the other aspects beyond your acting and directing. So you can definitely be a director. So in case of directing, let me just uh, state that very recently, one of our students, ex-student and a current student, they jointly did a film called Lotus, which got a lot of accolades
Nice.
in many film festivals. So we are very proud of it. Just 2 weeks back, a SEM2 student, three of them actually, Neil, Ranjana, and Shubhajit, they jointly made a film which won the Best Short Film Award in St. Xavier's College Film Fest, which is quite a known festival. So, direction, of course, that is a fantastic area. Sound designing is another area which is upcoming and has a very, very important role to play in every film. And last but not least, scripting, writing scripts. That how, as a script writer, and the need for script writer in today's day and age of OTT, you understand the
Absolutely.
kind of content, the volume of content that is coming. So OTT has completely changed the game. So it's no more conventional films and conventional directors that are hiring you today in the day and age of OTT, in the day and age of production houses. The kind of job that are there is amazing. It's a great story. I mean, I like it's
Absolutely.
like moved away from the uh, conventional placements and conventional jobs. It is, just like the way digital has made a huge difference in media,
Yes.
OTT platform has made it in film and television. So
Absolutely.
that is an area where we are extremely happy to share, and we recently had our own film festival, which is the NSHM New Wave Film Festival,
Yes.
which was to kind of establish the great films that are done that are being done by the other students across all the colleges. So more than 30 colleges participated, and it was a great story. We had an external jury, uh, with film directors like Otanu Ghosh and Indranil Raychaudhuri and Ravi Ranjan Moitro as the esteemed jury. Had workshops with actresses like Jyoti Ghoshal. So it was a good experience for us, and for the students especially. So it's completely done by the students, hands on, to give them
Yes.
a hands on experience of what it actually entails.
Wonderful.
So that is
No, that's very interesting that you said that, it's not just acting and direction,
right.
it's about the entire team which makes a film. So there are many other aspects to that too.
Absolutely, ma'am.
And thank you for sharing this for our audience. Uh, Now, a very pertinent question that comes to mind with so many colleges, so many courses being offered. So, when a parent is deciding for a college for a
Right,
student
right, right.
and they choose one of these subjects that their award wants to
Hmm.
pursue, why would they choose NSHM over other colleges? So, if you could tell us a
Right,
little
right.
bit about.
So, ma'am, the thing is, under the media school, there are two departments. One is the media science department, the other is the film and television department. So, under media science, we have a master's program and a bachelor's program. Under film and television, we have a bachelor's program, UG program. Now, there are so I'll respond to your answer with three pillars that are there of what is the advantage of an NSHM student and why a student should choose NSHM over other colleges. So, one is definitely the infrastructure. We have a state of the art shoot floor, which is the biggest in Eastern India, and no other college can boast of that size of shoot floor and the kind of equipment we have. Second is we have a community radio where we are currently shooting. which is 91.2 YFM, and this is not in any other private college or university in Eastern India. So it's a unique thing that we have. We are soon converting it into an internet radio where all of you can kind of download the app and would be able to listen to it. And barring two faculties, it is primarily run by the students. The programs
Yes.
are organized by the students and guided by, mentored by two faculties. So it is a unique thing that NSHM can boast of. The other thing which is also unique is that we have an audiovisual van, which is an AV van. Now, this AV van, the beauty of it is that the students, as a part of their project, as a part of their practicals, they take the AV van out for their various assignments that they do across the city, even sometimes outside the city. So that is to give them a first-hand experience of how the real life situation works, how the reporters work on the field, how live editing is done on the field. So that is a unique thing that the students get here, which is not available in other colleges, where for assignments you have to go separately and all that. So here the AV van, which is primarily and the infrastructure is primarily used, run, managed by the students. So we encourage that the intervention of the faculty is at a bare minimum level, so that the students take ownership of the equipment of the infrastructure, how to keep it clean, how to use it optimally, and finally we have a state of the art Mac lab, so which is very important for the editing and assignments that the students do. So that is one part of the infrastructure, uh, one pillar on the infrastructure. The second pillar, I would surely say, is the profile of the faculty that we have, which is our intellectual capital. In this second pillar, for both the media and the film and television, we have very experienced people who are from the industry as well. So the degree of exposure of the industry is very high here, and you can understand, ma'am, that we are a professional stream. So as far as the
Absolutely.
media film is concerned,
Absolutely.
there has to be a greater part of industry exposure in what the students are learning.
True.
So that is given by the senior faculties who have done their films, who have been in the corporate, who were former journalists, and they are the ones who are basically guiding the students in terms of how they can make themselves industry ready, so that tomorrow when they go out in the industry, they are not all theory. So they have a real life experience of what actually happens there, and so their assignments are also you know uh, crafted in such a manner that you get a real life feel of what you need to do when you're out there in the world. So faculty profiling is profile is with a huge amount of industry exposure is the second pillar. uh, Also, to increase the industry exposure, there are regular workshops that happen wherein industry experts, they come and they engage with the students, interact with them, over 2 days or 3 days, and basically give them the right exposure that they need in terms of what is there out there for them when they go out. Because see, no matter how much we scold the students and everything, but they are kind of incubated here.
Yes.
They're protected here, but when they go out in the industry, then they realize that what the real world is all about.
So true.
And there, if you're not good, there is no place for you. So you have to be very good, and that has to be a constant pursuit, a constant effort that they give. So that is very important. So that is the second pillar. The third pillar is, ma'am, the internship and the placements that we have. So
Okay.
all our final year students in both the departments are all placed. And today getting a placement in a newspaper is very challenging. In print is very challenging, but we have managed to do that. So the placement is across, as I said, in media houses. It is across corporates. It is across um, production houses like SVF. So we have been able to, and because of the kind of training that we give, our students are getting readily accepted by the industry, and that's a matter of great pride for us. So these are the three pillars on which I can say that yes, there is a clear NSHM advantage that the students would get over other institutions.
Thank you for that answer. It was very elaborate, and again, it touched upon many aspects of why NSHM is, their first
And
stop,
that
and
is the
it should
reason, ma'am,
be.
in the eastern part of the country, if you see the Outlook and India Today ranking, this media school stands out.
I'm sure that is the way it is. And one of the things that came out from what you were, sharing is one of the things that NSHM does is put the student before everything else and
Absolutely.
empower them to be able to be, future ready and industry ready. So thank you for, your answers. And with that, I think we will call it a wrap for today.
Sure, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.